This video is about keeping the structure of your feet loose and mobile so they can do their work and in the end to prevent discomfort, pain, or even some injury. So the foot, as we're standing on it, the gravity does its work, and the joints may end up being stuck, right? So a foot and a hand are very similar in the structure, lots of tiny joints, and at the joint, plenty of little bones and joints. So as we run and we go down, we can stuck the joint, and so then it doesn't have their full mobility, which then impact the rest of the structure on top of it, and we can put more stress on the muscle and go up to the knee, for example, or even to the hip. And so we want to keep that loose, mobile. So a couple of things you can do is first make sure all the joints have they do their work. So this can be little work, small work, but you're gonna immobilize one joint and then pull on the other and make it do the full range of motion. Sometimes you may feel cracking. In a big race, you will just pull on it and you're gonna hear this pop because there was so much compression from running and going downhill. So just pulling on any toes is good. Then immobilizing one bone, then pulling on the other to create space and do that full motion. Even some rotation. I'm going like deep in the details now, but just so you understand, then you can choose what you're gonna do. Same thing, I'm gonna immobilize that big guy because there's a joint here, and then pull on the other bone. Same thing, create as many space as I can by pulling it, immobilizing, pulling it up and down, even some rotation. It's supposed to move, right? Even up here, so a bunch of bones here, and so a joint here from that long metatarsal bone. So you just immobilize the whole thing and you can move that big joint. You can play one metatarsal from the other, so you hold one, you hold the other, and create some movement back and forth in between. Switch those two guys, switch those two guys. So those are like the tiny work. Then you're gonna create some space between the metatarsal. How you're gonna squeeze one finger in between each toe. If this is a challenge, good, start with that, because we're supposed to have that space, and sometimes just doing this will create space. You can massage in between, up or down the tissue to keep it loose, even on the tendon. So on the metatarsal you have a tendon that makes you go up and down your toes like that, right? So these lines are the tendon, and so by massaging them up or down, it can release some tension. But this is like, if you just have 2 minutes, you start with this. So now I'm creating space. It will allow to pop or create more space if I'm not doing this. Just back and up as far as you can at the toe level. You can also, the ankle, up and down, do some rotation on one side and go for like 10, 15, 20, 10, 15, 20. You may start slowly hearing or feeling some release. So there you go. So rotation is one thing, and then torsion. Now again, to have the best impact, the best result, you want to immobilize the rest, because now everything is moving. So again, I want to play at that level of the joints. So I'm gonna immobilize the rest and then torsion. torsion here. Then I can go for further up, so immobilizing the heel and doing this. So I may go more at that level of the joints in the foot. So torsion is your friend, and rotation. Immobilize the heel, rotation, rotation. So either the full foot and ankle, then hang on to the heel, torsion, rotation, and then grab this, torsion, rotation, and then even further, torsion, rotation. So you get I can feel it. You get a lot of stuff going on, but this helps to just keep everything loose in all those tiny joints and mobile, so you can prevent compression in the joints. And if there's compression in the joints, you're gonna run and you can't do your full extension, let's say. So now the rest is gonna work differently. You'll have the muscle of the leg here, the lower leg, will start working in the wrong angle, because they don't have the freedom to do what they usually do if this is mobile at the bottom. So keep that whole thing loose. You're gonna prevent any injury going up.